بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم إنا نسألك هدى وتقى وغنى وعفاف اللهم إنا نسألك لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب اللهم إنا نسألك عزة الإسلام والمسلمين والأذلة الشرك والمشركين اللهم إنا نسألك رحمتك إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم ثم أما بعد. I want to continue with our class tonight and the small essay by Imam Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen, Nuqtat al-Sawm, penetrating to the issue of fasting. The last point we mentioned, Barakallahu Fikum, we mentioned the fast for the one who is Majnoon, the one who is Majnoon. Naam, the one who is Majnoon, and the Shaykh he mentioned Wal-Kabir Muqdiri, the one who has an excuse because of being, as the brother mentioned, absent-minded or, as we say, dementia or Alzheimer's like this. And then the Shaykh he went on, Rahimahullah, may Allah show mercy upon the Shaykh and reward him for what he left for the Muslims in Islam. And he went on to the issue of the Ajis on the Siyam, the one who's not able, the Maradin, because of a sickness, la yurja bughal. He doesn't expect to return back from this type of sickness. And we know that the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned, وَلِكُلِّ دَاءٍ دَوَاءٍ, for every sickness there is a cure. But we understand that Allah has to send down that cure. And some people may not have the knowledge of that cure, either because they disbelieve in the cure, as many people disbelieve in the natural remedies and the things that are other than from pharmaceutical production as cures, remedies. So it's possible a person could have something and he has no cure, which means he will not return back from that sickness. And we have many cases where people have the sickness called cancer, so palmer, and they don't return back as it spreads through the body quickly. Some people last on herbs, I've heard, like black seed and other herbs, taking it different ways, maybe 10, 15 years with cancer, but eventually Allah Azza wa Jalla calls them back. So the Shaykh has mentioned the one who's married, he's sick, and he does not expect to return back to the health that will allow him to fast. Then the Shaykh says that person, la yajibu alayhi sawm, it's not upon him to fast. But that person, he himself, barakallahu fikum, the ajis, he has to feed a person. For each day that he missed for fasting, he has to feed the ta'am al-miskin. The person who's poor has to feed them a portion that he would eat himself as a meal. And rather than to make up the days, like some of the other categories the Shaykh is going to mention, the one who's unable, he doesn't have the ability to fast in the first place because of a sickness that's terminal, he won't return back from it, then that one, fast is not upon him because he doesn't have the ability, but he has to feed a person for each day that he missed. And this is it'am al-miskin. It's specified for the one who's needy. He needs a meal. For that reason, many of the contemporary scholars have been asked, is it permissible for a person who doesn't fast because he's not able, is it permissible for him to gather a tray of food, take it to the masjid, and people sit down and eat, 30, 40 people, as you're going to have 29 to 30 days for Ramadan, and they say as long as he's sure that each person that eats from that food is from the Masakin. Because this is the condition. If someone is affluent or someone can feed himself, he's not considered Masakin in need or needs some type of supplement or, barely making it. Those are some of the categories that you can identify. Somebody could be in the category of needy, Masakin. Doesn't mean he has his hand out, but he's in the category where his lifestyle and his barakallahu fikum, his class as a person is not considered middle class or high class. He's low class, like poor. Then that person, he's in the category to be fed a meal that's substantial for that person that he would have eaten for himself, that he feeds a person for each day that he missed. So this is the one who has a terminal sickness and he doesn't expect to return back from it. What about the one that has a sickness? He expects to return back from it. And then that one, he has to make up his days at another time. Now we understand, like a person has flu, for example. He's not going to have flu for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the rest of his life. No, he expects to heal in a certain amount of time. So for that individual, he's in the category where he would make up his days. He does not have the choice, so well, I'm not going to make up my days, I'd rather feed a person. No. If you have the ability, as this is a rule in Islam, I think is based upon istita'a, the person's ability, then you have to do what you're able. So the one who has a terminal illness, he's not able to fast because of that, he feeds right away. And he must feed a person for each day that he missed from the people who was in need of a meal or that qualifies for a meal because they're poor. And it doesn't mean they have to be in a shelter or sleeping outside to be poor. People work every day and they're poor. But everyone knows who's in this category, they should. And then the one who's sick with the sickness that she expects to heal, then they have to make up their days in another time for the days that they missed in Ramadan. The Shaykh mentioned, rahimahullah tabaraka wa ta'ala, wa mada al-hamin wal-murdi', the lady who's pregnant and the lady who's breastfeeding. The lady who's pregnant and the lady who is breastfeeding. The lady who's pregnant, the Shaykh mentions, and shaqqa alayha sawm. Naam, and shaqqa alayha sawm. If the fasting becomes difficult for her, aw yakhsha ala waladiha, or she fears for the baby in her stomach, فَعَلَيْهَا يعني ماذا? It is for her to break her fast. Now, number one, in shaqqa alayha sawm, if it becomes something unbearable for her, because when a lady is pregnant, sometimes she needs to eat at certain times, she needs to drink at certain times. She may be a person during her pregnancy, she throws up. And not just a normal morning sickness for a few weeks or a month or 2 months, 3 months. Some women are throwing up the whole 9 months. For a lady like that, shaqqa alayha, it's a difficulty for her. So for her, she breaks her fast. أو إن كان عليها خوف لولدها في بطنها, or if she's afraid for the baby in her stomach, that the baby will suffer some malnutrition or it'll be difficult for the baby, then she breaks her fast. So what does that lady do as it relates to feeding or making up the days? Then the ulama, they say, for that lady, she has to make the days up at another time. She makes the days up at another time. And for the lady who's breastfeeding, the same thing. Some ladies, they can breastfeed and fast. They can eat a nice sahur as you have to eat different things in order for the milk to flow. Vegetables, drink dairy. In some countries they say bread, like in Yemen, they used to tell the ladies eat a lot of khubz. Eat a lot of bread, the milk will flow. And it was true. So for the lady who's breastfeeding, again, if it's difficult for her, her milk is not flowing, which means she's going to have severe pain in her breast because the milk just builds up and there's no release, and it's very painful. If she fears that, or she fears for the baby won't be able to get the amount of milk because the milk is not flowing right, then she breaks her fast. What happens to that lady? Like the pregnant lady, she makes up her days at another time, except that they're unable to. For example, the lady who's pregnant, she's pregnant, barakallahu fikum, in Ramadan. Then Ramadan is over. Then she decides to try to make up her days, and she doesn't get to make them up. She has all the way to the next Ramadan, is from the hadith of Aisha, to make up her days. If it becomes difficult for her, or let's say she gets pregnant right away again after the post-birth bleeding, and she's back in that same situation where it's too difficult for her to fast, then that lady, she would feed somebody for the days that she missed. And likewise for the breastfeeding lady, if something happened where she couldn't make the days up, as breastfeeding is for how many years or months when a lady breastfeeds? Who knows the ruling for the breastfeeding? Is it for
2.5 years?
2.5 years?
Yeah.
Roger, yani Sanatain. How lane can lane? Now, 2 whole years. Barakallah fiqh. So, let's ask yourself, how many Ramadans are going to come in 2 years? So that's likely for that lady, she's going to have to feed rather than make up because she's not able. Now, so these are from the issues of the one who is pregnant as well as the one who is breastfeeding, and shaqqa alayhima, if it becomes difficult for them, a hardship, or they are afraid for the baby, either in the stomach or the one who is breastfeeding, then they break their fast. Now, يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. Allah, He wants for you ease, He doesn't desire for you hardship. Now, then the Shaykh, he goes to Barakallahu fikum, the one who asaba gawkara al-harq, the one who is tested with almost drowning or being burnt. The one who's obviously speaking, tested with almost drowning, water went where? Did it go in his ears? Did it go in his mouth? Did it go in his pocket? Where did the water enter in order to almost drown? In his stomach. And in some cases it might enter the lungs too, over the lung. For that person, obviously, Yahamakallah, his fast is broken. And for him, he breaks his fast because he's in the situation of a catastrophe. He's going to need some IV, some medicine. You can best believe he's not going to be able to fast. His body's going to be weak and so forth. So for that one, he breaks his fast. And for the one who gets burnt, the same thing. If he gets burnt, he's going to have to go in the hospital, take some medicine by mouth, take an IV, get the swelling down, the infection, khalas, he has to break his fast. And for them, when they're able at another time, then they make up the day's fasting. The Shaykh also mentioned, وَبَارَكَ fikum, the one who breaks his fast, nasiyan, or jahilan, or yani, Qur'an, or the Testament. He said if a person breaks his fast, number one, out of ignorance, we'll explain, as the Shaykh explained. Number two, either forgetfulness, nasiya, or yani that person either disliking to, but it happens. Then the Shaykh, he says that person's fast is not blown. He keeps his fast. He gives the example of the one where Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, he said, for us to say to him, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. أين استشهاد في هذه الآية؟ الدليل إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. So the akhta is when someone thinks that he's right. This is in Arabic, akhta. This is different from ma'asiyah. Ma'asiyah, you know that it's wrong, you do it. وَلَيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ. Akhta is that you think that you're doing something right, but in reality, it's wrong. So for that one, he doesn't know. Then his fast is still intact. For the one who forgets, then that person, his fast is intact. And the Shaykh, he mentioned that ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, and likewise he mentioned the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he said, لا جناح عليكم فيما أخطأتم به ولكن تعمدت قلوب ولكن تعمدت ماذا قلوبكم
لكن
ما تعمل القلوب هكذا نعم. So Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said there's no sin on you for what you do unintentionally, but He's going to hold you accountable for what you do. You know in your heart you shouldn't do it, and you do it. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold you accountable for. So the Shaykh, he used that to show if you do something on ignorance, on akhta, thinking that it's right, then your fast is still intact. And he mentions also ايش كره ولكن
ما تعمدت
لا كره لا
إلا
إلا
من أكره
من أكره وقلبه مطمئن. بارك الله فيك. Except the one he dislikes it, while in his heart it's firm, the issue of obeying Allah and believing in Allah. So the Shaykh used those verses to say if the one, for example, he thinks that he has time, لكن طلع عليه فجر, but Fajr has appeared, and he doesn't know it. He's still eating. Doesn't know the Fajr has come in, and he has the intention when it's Fajr to stop. Then the Shaykh, he says, for that person, when he finds out, he keeps his fast. He doesn't blow his fast because he did something on jahal. He did something on akhta. He thought that he had time, but the time ran out. The Shaykh, he mentioned also, for that person, he's going to be the one who detested in his heart, while in his heart is calm and fixed with obeying Allah and belief in Allah. And then the Shaykh, he mentioned for the one who forgets. And how many times in the first few days of Ramadan, especially if a person is used to eating at a certain time, he may drink something, and his wife might say, Subhanallah, you're fasting. He said, oh. Or he may sit down and eat, and then may not even cross his mind. Eat, and then when he gets to the last bite, he says, Subhanallah. Look at the sandwich. The sandwich is gone. He said, man, I'm fasting. Astaghfirullah. And he's upset.
Tell me about it.
This is in the first and second day, sometimes the third day.
You get catch the first 3 days.
So for this, the Sheikh's point is that it does not break the fast. Because you did something on jahl, or yani nasiya, and that which your heart is content with obeying, you did something that you really disliked, and that was to eat or drink while you knew it was Ramadan, but you forgot, or either you did something of misjudgment. So the Shaykh, he mentioned that. And then the Shaykh, he mentioned, Barakallahu fikum, the opposite. And that is also for before we go forward, I forgot the Haid wal Nifas. The Shaykh also mentioned this too, that the lady who has menses, the minute her menses start in Ramadan, khalas, her fast stops. She cannot fast in this case. This nullifies the fast. Likewise, the lady after she has a baby and she's bleeding, after that birth, she cannot fast. They themselves have to make up the days at another time. Now, forgot to mention that. Okay, so we're talking about what doesn't break the fast. On ignorance, forgetfulness, and that which the heart dislikes, you dislike, but the heart is firm on obedience to Allah and belief in Allah Ta'ala. So you're okay. Then he mentions what breaks the fast. He said from the first things that break the fast, min awwaliha jima' fi nahar Ramadan. Jima' fi nahar Ramadan. The first of the things is the one who makes intercourse in the daytime of Ramadan. And this means purposely. The Shaykh said for this, the person he broke his fast. فَلَهُ كَفَارًا. Now, فَتَحْرِيرُ رُقَبَ أَوَّلًا. The first thing he has to free a slave. But we know that in this time there's no slaves. Nobody can free anything that doesn't exist. So, Al-Tabarak wa Ta'ala, from his knowledge and his wisdom, he made steps. And it's not a choice for you. You can't say, well, I don't want to even deal with freeing a slave. I just want to feed people. You skip freeing a slave. You skip fasting 2 months consecutively. Nah, you have to go bitartib in order. So there's no slave to free. So obviously you go to the next step. That person has to fast mutatabi'ain. Shahrain mutatabi'ain. Shahrain means 2 months. Shahr is month. Shahrain, 2 months. And then how? I'm going to do a month here and then wait 5 months and do another month. Mutatabi'ain, back to back. And this shows how evil breaking the fast on purpose is. Fasting back to back. Allah Musta'an. We know how difficult it can be 1 month of Ramadan, back to back. Allah Musta'an. And then that person, if he can't do it, because remember, everything is based on ability. Allah is al-adil. So it's based on your ability. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he has to feed sittina miskina. Nah, sittina miskina, 60 poor people. Allah Musta'an. And guess what? He still has to make up the day that he missed. Huh?
In this case, qada and kafar.
Aywa, qada wa kafar. Yeah, he has to make up the day he missed and do those extra things to get the sin off. This is for jima' fi nahar Ramadan. Now, wallahi, let's say the opposite. Someone he forgot. Again. Or it didn't reach him. He didn't know. No one told him Ramadan was today because he was waiting. He didn't hear someone spotted the halal. He didn't see the moon. Khalas, he has jima' in the daytime. Then he finds out after that it's Ramadan. For that person, he makes up that day. Fala alayhi shay, and there's no sin on him. But the one who knows is Ramadan. He started out fasting. He knows that fi tulul shams, fi tulul fajr, and the approach of fajr, it's Ramadan. He does it, then he has to make up that day, and he has to do the kifara, those 3 that we just mentioned, either free a slave, if he's not able, fast 2 consecutive months, and if he can't, then he feeds 60 poor people. And this means the amount of food that he will feed himself. Can't give each person a date, 60 people. So I feel, la. 1 chicken wing, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La. Gotta give him a portion that you would eat yourself. Sah. Allah musta'an. Hakada. Tayyib. Then the Shaykh, he mentioned the second thing, استمتاع يعني ماذا يعني الزوجة أو يعني يد أو يعني تقبل أو مبشرة, any way that the person discharges sperm other than having relations with the wife. And people shouldn't be shy. This is deen. We have to talk about this. Because some people think that, well, I'm not having relations, intercourse, I'm not entering my wife, so I can do anything else. La, hada shubha. This is misconception. You cannot purposely ejaculate or have some sperm released. You are in sin. If you know that if you kiss your wife, it's going to happen, don't kiss your wife. Don't say, well, the Prophet used to kiss his wife. Akhi, you telling me I can't practice the sunnah? Yeah, I'm telling you, you can't practice the sunnah. If you know that you can't hold your horses, you can't hold your excitement, and that might happen to you, you cannot kiss your wife. Because from the qawa'id of the deen of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is al-wasila ila shay. Naam, al-wasila ila shay al-haram al-haram. Something that leads to the haram is what? Haram. Just like something that leads to what's an obligation becomes an obligation. Allah said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا zina. Don't come near fornication. That means anything that leads to it is haram. So likewise, we apply that to fasting.
وما أسكر كثيره فقليله حرام.
ماذا؟
ما أسكر كثيره فقليله حرام.
Now he's talking about the issue of khamr, which that's another issue because it's a little different. But yeah, you can pull that one too if you know what you're doing. You could talk about the khamr and say yeah, because it leads to intoxication. That's why the Prophet said whatever intoxicates a small amount is haram in those small amounts. Don't say, well, I only had 2%, so I'm not drunk. La. If it leads to intoxication, forget what the madhab said and what somebody didn't know because the hadith didn't reach him. Prophet said the small of it and whatever intoxicates from it is khamr. So this is the same analogy that the Shaykh is talking about. So the point is that purposely discharging of the sperm, purposely having some type of gratification other than with the wife is wrong, or with the body part is wrong. You can't do it. You have to abstain in all cases. But for this one, when it's not the mate, you don't have to do kifar. It's a sin on you. You should make tawbah. You have to make up the day. But you don't have to do kifar. But it's still a sin. Stay away from it. It breaks your fast. The Shaykh he mentioned also, وَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ فِيكُمْ الْأَكْلُ وَالشُّرْبُ في نهار رمضان في نهار ماذا رمضان. Eating and drinking purposely in Ramadan breaks your fast. If you eat or drink, and we just covered what you do on mistake or from forgetfulness, does that break your fast? No. But the opposite, if you eat and drink on purpose, then it breaks your fast. And he mentioned the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He said, من لم يدع قول زور. من لم يدع قول زور. Whoever does not leave off قول زور. That's the first part of the hadith. Who could tell me what is قول زور?
ينبغي يعمل شهادة غلط يعني الزور.
شهادة الغلط. He's saying something that's wrong. He's bearing witness to something false. نعم.
Testifying, you're giving a testimony for something that's not true.
You're giving testimony for something that's not true. You're bearing witness to something you have no business. Something happens, then the people want to know the story. You say, yeah, he did it. It was an asr, and you want to hear the asr. How do you know? Well, the brother, he told me, yeah, well, I know he did it. That's called nuzul. If you didn't see it, you wasn't there, you can't bear witness. Kadhib. I know Numan and Kadhib. It's a type of lying. And Rasulullah mentioned with the Sab'a Ma'biqat, with the 7 things you should.
من لم يدع قول الزور والعمل به.
أنا ما أكملت حديث. لا يعني أردت أن يعني وقف عند قول الزور. أيوة كي لا يبين ما هو. Rasulullah بارك الله فيك. He mentioned this when he talked about staying away from the 7 most destructive sins. Said Kolon Zuhr. When he got to this, they said, we thought he would never shut up. He just kept saying Kolon Zuhr, Kolon Zuhr, Kolon Zuhr. Can you imagine? You already don't want to hear that someone keeps saying Kolon Zuhr, Kolon Zuhr, Kolon Zuhr. You're like, be quiet. But you can't say that or feel that because he's the messenger. But as a human, you're like, okay, we get it. We're not going to do it. Emphasize it because it's that evil. So Kolon Zuhr, yani barakallahu fikum, is that you bear false witness. Kolon Zuhr also can be you defend somebody in falsehood. Kolon Zuhr can be, Allah Musta'an, that you say something happened and it didn't happen. Kolon Zuhr can be that you're narrating something that's a lie. Kadhib has many meanings. Prophet he said, whoever does not leave Kolon Zuhr, or he doesn't leave acting in accordance to Kolon Zuhr. So you can say it, or you can back somebody else who's saying it. Or you can act according to it. Now you deem so-and-so to be a troublemaker because somebody said he's a troublemaker and you don't even know the story is true or false. You're acting on Kolon Zuhr. Tell somebody, Akhi, stay away from the brother. I heard X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. And people do this all the time. A'udhu billah. Kolon Zuhr. Then if you approach him, he say, Allah, I didn't say nothing. The brother, he came to me. Akhi, you acting on Kolon Zuhr. Allah Musta'an. So this Kolon Zuhr, or acting in accordance to it, or, the Prophet he said, Jahl. You act in accordance to Jahl. How many times in Ramadan, wallahi, Muslims arguing in Ramadan, during the fast. During the fast, not after break fast, during the fast. Ready to fight. Swearing, cursing, a'udhu billah, Jahl. Wallahi, I hate to say it, we have to say it. We shouldn't be fasting, wallah musta'an, and you have your iPad and you watching movies. He's funny as heck. Now why are you fasting? Wallah musta'an. Listen to music, rocking, too like this. Jahl, ma'asi. So some say, whoever doesn't leave Kolon Zuhr, act in accordance to it, or Jahl, فإن الله فليس الله حاجة أن يدع طعامه وشرابه كما قال. Then Allah does not even have a need for that individual that he leave his food and drink. Why? Because really you're not fasting. You're just doing like some Weight Watchers. You know the people, they want to lose weight, they say just eat this and eat this portion and this, or don't eat. Yeah, you're almost like those people. Have no ibadah. Because the fasting is more than leaving food and drink. As we just covered the issue of jima' in the daytime of Ramadan, relations with the wife. Now we're talking about the tongue and the heart and doing actions that are wrong. So that it breaks your fast, based on that hadith. Kolon Zuhr breaks your fast. Acting upon it breaks your fast. Spreading tales, namima. Ooh, you know what I heard? I seen it on Facebook. Khalas, breaks your fast. Acting upon ignorance breaks your fast. Any sin, وفي رواية لم يدع شهوات. هكذا. And another narration, Allah said He doesn't leave the desires. You lose out. So these are the things that break the fast. Allah, and we should be reminded because it's easy. Allah, it's easy if a person is not mindful, or he's around people that's not mindful, or he himself gets caught up, or she gets caught up. You'll be one of those people that you broke your fast and you didn't even eat or drink, nor have intercourse, but you broke it on the tongue and actions and ignorance. Wallahu musta'an. Lastly, Barakallahu fikum, the Shaykh brings some benefits, such as if a lady is on her menses, and let's assume like right now we're talking nighttime, and then before Fajr comes, which we're in Ramadan, she stops bleeding. Then she has to fast that next day. He said even if she doesn't bathe until Tulu' Shams, until the sun rises, she still hasn't bathed, she has to start her fast with everybody else. And likewise, if a man has relations with his wife in the nighttime, even if he wakes up and Fajr is in, he starts his fast even though he didn't take his ghusl to pray. He fasts. He shouldn't say, well, I didn't take my ghusl, so I'm not fasting today because I'm not in Tahara and I didn't pray and I can't, fast and I didn't pray. No. And you fast. So as long as you're in the circumstance to fast, when the Fajr approaches, be it male or female, then you fast. And this is the same for the lady who's from the women of Nifas. She's bleeding because she had a baby. If that bleeding stops prior to Fajr, then she has to fast that next day. Now, these are from some of the benefits of our Shaykh al-Imam Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala fi naqtat al-Sawm, a penetration, a brief look into the issue of Sawm. Nas'al Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yurhamhu wa yajzihu khayran ala al-Islam al-Muslimin. Ask Allah to give him a good reward for what he left for Islam and the Muslims, and have mercy on him. ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ينفعنا برسالته وبما قدمنا في درسنا. Ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to bless us for what was in the presentation of the Shaykh and what we have presented tonight. ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبلغنا شهر المبارك، شهر القرآن، شهر الصوم، شهر الرحمة or شهر رمضان. Ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to bless us to see the month of Rahmah, the month of Quran, the month of forgiveness. It is the month of Ramadan. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا هو أستغفره ونتوب إليه. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Any questions, comments, or corrections? وجزاكم الله خيرا خيرا جزاء.
Yes,
تفضلوا.
about the making of the siyam, if someone was obliged to break to start, if he's not remembering or he is obliged or things like that.
Now,
There is no ijma about that. He should not make a day for what he has done. He is forgiven for because he was forgetting or something like that. But there is no ijma about not making up the siyam for that. The Shaykh should have mentioned that.
now we mentioned this, I believe. Yani, if the one breaks his fast, nasiyan, yani, or jahlan, that doesn't break his fast, he continues his fast.
No, he continues to fast and he has to make another day.
هذا اختلاف بين العلماء
Yeah,
ومنهم يقولون
he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
بارك الله فيك الله يغفر جزاكم الله خير. The Shaykh didn't mention this ikhtilaf. He has a bigger book called Majalis Sharh Ramadhan, sitting on the whole month of Ramadan. In that book, he combs through every issue, from the Tarawih, Qiyam al-Layl, Kam Raka'atan, Kada wa Kada wa Kada. He deals with everything. How many rak'ahs you pray on Tarawih, and etc. And this one, he just mentions some points to give people the general outlook on fasting. So for this one, as you're saying so correctly, Barakallahu Fikum, there's a difference of opinion between the ulama, looking at the different texts and talking about what they think should be the outcome for the one who breaks his fast on forgetfulness or ignorance. Some of them say, for that one, he keeps his fast, he continues, but he makes up that day. And others say, no, he's not held accountable because he forgot, or that he did it on ignorance, so why would he need to make up that day? And you have the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned, من أكل أو شرب ناسيا فيتم صومه فإن الله أطعمه وسقاه. نعم, in the Musnad Imam Ahmad. Whoever eats or drinks forgetting, and let him continue and complete that fast, because indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala simply gave him some food and drink. So this is a proof that you don't make it up because you continue that fast, and the wording is clear. But some of the ulama, because they make ijtihad in this issue, they go back and forth and they have a discussion about what's the apparent meaning. Then they say he should make the day up to be safe. But the closest opinion is that that person doesn't have to make up anything, as the Prophet said, continue his fast as Allah has given him food and drink. And also, Shaykh Uthaymeen is of the opinion that if he eats or drinks forgetting, he continues his fast, but he should throw up the food that he ate. But this is an opinion. This is not the statement of the Prophet. The throwing up of the food is an opinion of the madhab of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. It's not a statement of the Prophet. Therefore, we're allowed to accept or reject anybody's statement except the Prophet. And therefore, again, if the Prophet said, Allahumma musta'an. يعني بارك الله فيكم ولو كان أبو بكر الصديق يعني كل قول يعني راض أو مردود. Every statement is either we keep it pleasingly or we reject it, except the Prophet. So, if you put your hand in your mouth and throw up the food because of this opinion of the madhab Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and his students, then don't think that this is a statement of the Prophet. Because look, the Prophet said, whoever eats, drinks, forgetting, complete his fast. So why would you have to throw up? What is this from madhab? And you should understand, this is not slight towards any scholar, any imam, any alim, but the deen of Allah ta'ala, the way of Islam, the way of the Salaf al-Salih, the righteous predecessors, you follow the dalil, you follow the clear text. This qata'iyya, it's clear, you follow that. If it's dhanni, something you could interpret because it could be this way or that way, then la bas. If one scholar sees it like this, another doesn't see it like that, because Allah out of His wisdom left those texts available so that people could use the mind and make ijtihad and bring about different verdicts. But when it's clear cut like this hadith, complete your fast because verily Allah gave you food and drink, then that's it. End of the discussion. Wallahu mawfiq. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one we seek success from. Alhamdulillah. Faddalu.
I met a lot of people here in the States that, I don't know from where I got this hukm. They say that, hey, I asked them, why you are fasting today? They said, oh, last night I didn't have my sahur. Huh? So what's the hukm here? And these people, they don't have no sahur, that means they're not going to fast. I know it's not right, but what's the hukm in this issue?
You just said you know it's not right. Jazakallah khair. وَأَجَبْتَ بِنَفْسِكَ. You answered your own question. It's not right. It's not right. And people have many misconceptions. Wallahi.
It's a lot of people actually.
Okay, نعم صحيح ولكن
we're not fasting because last night we didn't have sahur.
أيوة عرفوا لكن أخي بارك الله فيك. Like you said, it's not right, so it doesn't make a difference where they got it from if it's not right. And we know that the suhoor, first of all, ما حكم suhoor? What is the ruling for suhoor?
It's not obligatory.
Not obligatory. Mustahab. Yes. So this in itself is a proof they have misconception. Maybe someone told them they have to take suhoor. And sometimes, wallahi, alhamdulillah, ala kul hal, and praise Allah for everything, but wallahi, sometimes the English causes this problem. Someone translate the statement of the Prophet and they translate it, you must take suhoor. So people think like this is part of the fast, must, like it's wajib. But Prophet is saying you should, meaning because it's beneficial for you, but not should like if you don't then it's a sin on you and it affects your fast. So sometimes it's from this too. The English is mushkil of Allah. That's why we encourage the people to learn something of the Arabic language because it helps in these affairs. لكن أنا ما أعرف من أين أتوا بهذه الشيء وليس بحكم. الحكم من كتاب الله ومن سنة رسول الله ومن أقوال الصحابة الذي يوافق بسنة رسول الله. أما قول فلان هذا ليس بحكم. Yeah, hukum yani is what Allah says, the Messenger said, and what the Sahaba said is agree with the Messenger. But other people's statement, we do not call that hukum.